Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today, instead of doing like my normal update, I'm going to go through and add up how much it actually cost me to make my Sailor Cosmos fairy costume. It's something that I typically never do. Let me phrase that. It's something I have never done before. I do not pay that much attention to what I spend because I get in the zone and I'm very much like, I want to get done, I want this, and I will just figure it out. I wind up spending more than I should. I'm also the type of person to cut my nice fabric rather than make a mock-up because I'm impatient and I am trying to get better at that, but I am not there yet. So this is my wake-up call. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to see how much I actually spent, and then my next cosplay going forward, I'm going to do the same thing, and this is a way to hold myself accountable. To help with the stress, I have made myself a cup of tea, which tastes like coffee because I didn't clean the filter out before I switched from coffee to tea on my machine. So it's a weird hybrid of flavor, and I have not decided whether or not I like it, but I am going with it. So we have my coffee tea, and I guess we will just launch on into it. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this. I think I will go ahead and go through my list of materials, and then I will add it all together in a spreadsheet, and I may pop up something around here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. But anyway, so I guess let's start from the beginning. So fabric. I had some fabric on hand and I went ahead and added the cost in of the things that I could find, and then other fabric, like for the skirt, I used stuff I already had on hand, and I couldn't tell you how long that I actually had that on hand. So I put together what I could. So we have the corset fabric, which funnily enough is actually called corset fabric. That's the type of fabric. I got it from Farthingales, which is located in Canada, I believe. So shipping was a little pricey, but I actually purchased it for a different project and then wound up using it on this. So that was $24. And then the crystal organza I had to purchase twice because I cut one panel of the skirt and then decided I needed a second panel and had to order more. If I had just ordered the correct amount, I'm sure I would not have had to spend as much. So that was $21.44 each time. And then we have the gold satin, which I used for the puff sleeves. That was $7.99 from Amazon, so free shipping. Sequins. I ran out of sequins once, so I did have to repurchase twice. So I have the $8.97 and $8.97 twice, and then $13.90 and $23.60. So I have the $8.97 twice, $13.90, and then $23.60. Cording, which is what I used around the sequence designs. That was $7.99 for a spool. Resin was interesting. So I ordered some resin, which was $14.39, and it arrived in November, and I put it up on a shelf not to use until I needed it. And when I opened it, it must have busted in transit, and I just didn't know because part of the bottle was empty and there was dried resin goo all over the inside of the box, so it was a waste. But I was outside the Amazon return window. I'm sure I could have contacted them and gotten a replacement, but I just bought another one. But at least it was on sale, so I got it for $13.49 instead. It's terrible for me. Resin molds. I bought several different ones. I bought the mold for the pendant and like the little broochy thing and the thing that goes on the belly, and then I bought molds for some beads that I made for the wings. And I don't remember the other mold right now. So we're at $21.39, $8.99, and $12.99. The trim. So I went through there's a special trim on the bodice, which is also on the boots and in the collar as well, maybe in the collar. And then I bought a star trim, which is on the skirt and the collar for sure. So all the different trims I wound up buying were $12.90, $16.90, $9.99, $11.90, and $13.58. bias tape. So I use bias tape to edge my corset because it's easy. It doesn't last as long if you use something like twill tape, but I used bias tape, so that was $14.99. To be fair, that was buy 3 or 4, get 3 or 4 free. So I did over purchase so that I would have more on hand for later. So like, that's a good buy. Is that girl math? I think that might be girl math. I thought it was smart. Beads. So I went through a lot of beads, and I bought multi-packs and would run out of one size of bead. And so then I'd have to buy the whole multi-pack again just to make sure it was the same bead. So we have $6.41, $8.99, $7.99, $9.99, $5.99, $7.99 again, and $9.39. All those were purchased off Amazon. Jewels. So there's jewels stitched onto the bodice, and there are jewels elsewhere because I don't think this includes the gems. I think I have gems listed later. So I just have this one listed as jewels. I don't know. I was compiling all this together, and I don't remember my train of thought. So I have jewels. $10.69, $14.94, $11.99, $7.99, $9.99, and $12.99. And I don't remember if I mentioned this, but in places where I knew or could pull the shipping information, I did include in the price. And then items that were part of like one bulk order from Amazon, but not all of it was for this, I just pulled the item price. So this isn't going to be like super accurate, but it's going to give me a pretty good understanding of the damage I did to my wallet. So, all right, so feathers I had to purchase twice, and I actually just purchased a new pack because I'm going to redo the feathers on the collar. That is not in this though, so we're just going to do the 2. So we have $8.87. So that was for foam because originally I was going to make EVA foam feathers. I did use the EVA in the brooch. I did not use it in the collar or anywhere else. So the goose feathers were the $23.19. Maybe it's vice versa. Maybe the goose feathers was $8.87 and the $23.19 was for, oh no, I have foam listed later. So apparently I just purchased like $30 worth of feathers. Okay. So paint was $20. That includes spray paint. And I had to repurchase some airbrush paint. So I just have it as a full $20. EVA foam, I did go through 2 sheets experimenting with my laser cutter, so we're at $20 and $16.04. Wig. Oh, okay. Let's talk about the wig. All right. So I can't remember if I said this in my wig video, but I destroyed 3 wigs. One of them was successful, so I don't know if I'd call it as destroyed, but I had a lace front wig from Arta, and that would be the $39.30 I have listed. That I tried a technique on, a new technique I had never done before. I tried making my own hairline with it, and it just didn't wind up working out. So that wig is mostly ruined. I'll be able to salvage the front and maybe stitch it onto something else, but the rest of the wig is pretty ruined. And then I got a cheap wig from Amazon for $10.69 that I tried to utilize. It didn't work, so then it wound up getting cut up and used in both the first trial and then also in the final trial. So it got used. And then I have the $26.46, which was when I purchased more Amazon wigs to use in the final version. But the final version, the base wig, was my original Sailor Cosmos wig that I butchered. Actually, I should say I restructured it in something new. I like how my wig turned out, so it's not really butchered, but like it got dismantled, like completely dismantled. I did have to buy a pair of shorts to wear under the skirt, which these shorts were amazing, and I should definitely include a link. It won't be an affiliate link, I'm not that cool, but the shorts are super comfortable and they have pockets. So we know how important it is to have pockets in cosplay, or just as women in general. So $13.99 for those shorts, which is not a bad price. Tools. So there were several tools I wound up having to purchase because there were whole new techniques that I was using. So I had to get a dotting pen, which wound up being way better than these little pencils that the jewels come with. That was $7.99 for a set of 2. I had to buy more gem tack because mine got used up and what was left was starting to dry out. So that was $10.99. Hair combs for the hair feathers. That was $9.99 for a set. I think there was multiple in there, more than just one set. I bought a new wig head because my wig head was styrofoam and falling apart and just not working anymore. I did alter that styrofoam wig head with like a duct tape head piece that matched my head shape, so it worked, but I went ahead and upgraded to a proper wig head. That cost me $18.31, which is not a bad price for a wig head. They're usually in the 50s. An ink blotter for using alcohol ink to paint the wings, which I wound up in the end not even doing. That was $7.03. A press pad for my Cricut, I don't know, Cricut press, that's what it's called. My Cricut press, I didn't realize one came with the machine until about 2 days ago, so I bought one, so now I have two. That was $10.99. I purchased a little plastic squeegee for the wings, super useful by the way, $10.99. Floral tape for the wings, $3.99. Alcohol ink, $12.99, which will be used on my next fairy cosplay of Tegwill from Magic. So I will get use out of it. And then wire. I went through three different kinds of wire actually, before I found the right one. So I got $12.19 and $10. I think I couldn't find the price of one of them, so it's not on there. Electrical tape for the wings, $5.70, and silicone mats for $7.99, which one is kind of cut in half in the shape of a wing right now because oopsies. But yeah, so there's that. When I was trying to figure out what to do with the pieces of the skirt that my laser wouldn't cut, I wound up purchasing a brand new hot knife, which came with some different tips I thought would be useful. I wound up not using it in the end. That was $35. And a glass cutting board for the hot knife, so that was $11.99. I did purchase a cover for my laser to help protect my eyes. That was $69.47. I'm including it in this because it was for this project. I will use it in the future, but it was just a good purchase in general. But it was purchased for this, so it's in here. Jump rings for the jewelry, $5.99. Grommets, $8.44. I had to get gold grommets, which I didn't have any. Or I didn't have enough of them anyway. A new jewelry hammer because I lost my jewelry hammer and then found a couple weeks after the new one arrived. So I now have two jewelry hammers, $5.99. But I'm not sad that I have a second one because my first one's kind of beaten up. It's got a lot of chunks missing out of it, so it probably needed replaced anyway. And then bead thread for all the beading I did on the corset. That was $5.99. I did have some of the dye on hand. I did have to purchase a couple other bottles of different colors, so that was $8.25. Gold leaf, I went through over 100 sheets of gold leaf, so that's one full kit and some of it in a second. So that's $20.32 for one, and I guess it was on sale and got it again for $17.27. Ribbon, lots of ribbon on this thing, $7.99, $8.99, and $8.99 again. Okay, all right, so here's the part I'm sort of dreading looking at. So there was a lot of experimentation with the wings. A lot of experimentation. I went through lots of cellophane. I went through lots of vinyl. And I went through lots of heat and bond trying to get the wings to work. In the end, with my technique, I'm set now. And I have so much heat and bond that when I make Tegwill's wings, it's going to be fine. I have so much of it. I bought a whole bolt in the end. But I went through so much money here, and I knew it was going to be the highest dollar amount, those wings, because all of my experimentation, just once you mess it up, you can't fix it, right? So like the poster board would get stuck to the heat and bond, and if it's bonded and wrong, you can't peel it apart without ruining it. And vinyl sticks to the other vinyl, you can't peel it apart. So once it was ruined, it was ruined. So this is a long list of charges. We have $12.99, $34.21, $80.25, $12.73, $23.52, $21.98, $12.73, $12.72, $12.29, $8.79, $10.39, and $11.12. And that $80.25, that's the bolt of heat and bond that I wound up purchasing. And I have very little vinyl left over. The only thing I really have left over is some cellophane and heat and bond. So not a lot I can use on the next project either. So that right there was a huge charge of mistakes as I was figuring it out. But I have a technique now, so I guess it'll save me money in the future. The base boots, $59.91. Cellophane, so I guess that was just vinyl up there. So yeah, cellophane. Cellophane, $16.98. I have additional alcohol ink supplies listed. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but it's listed, $11.12. And then a bag of pillow fluff for $5.97. So that's everything. So I have all the numbers plugged into an Excel sheet, but I haven't looked at it yet. So let me navigate over to the Excel sheet and see how many line items I have, and then let's total this up. It's not going to be good. All right, here we have it. We have 86 line items in my Excel sheet. 86 items that I purchased for this, which, to be fair, it's a very complex build. That seems like a lot. Okay, so how much does 86 line items add up to? Put your guesses in the comments. I want to know what you all think, because I'll give you my guess. So put your guess in the comments. Let me know what you all think. Pause here while you can think about it and think about all the numbers. Don't go back and add it up. Just think about all the things that you heard and put your guess down in the comments of how much you want it to be. So here's my guess. I think I spent over $700. That's my guess. But I think it's going to be more. I think it's going to be closer to $1,000. I'm going to go somewhere in the middle. I'm going to say like $900. That's my guess. So let's see. It's worse. It's worse than I thought. All right, 86 line items. To build Sailor Cosmos, it cost me $1,297.62. Can't leave off the cents. This might be my most expensive build yet. Oh my gosh. That was... All right. This is a lesson learned. Kiddos, pay attention to what you spend on your cosplays. Make a budget. Stick to your budget. Don't be me. Don't do as I do. And I will try to be better in my next build. I will track my spending. I will try to keep it within a reasonable budget. Though I know Tegwell is going to be expensive because I'm working on animatronic wings and the parts for that are just so expensive. So I will set a higher budget for that one. But yeah, I feel like I thought I was doing really good with Cosmos because I used a lot of things I had on hand. But apparently I didn't have 86 different items on hand. So what was I thinking? Oh man, okay, all right. So yeah, $1,300. See, this is why I hear people don't do commission work for cosplay, because that doesn't include my time. That's cost of materials. Granted, I made some mistakes in there. I could probably get the cost down a little bit, but if you include my time, this would be what, a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 costume? Like, I can't imagine somebody wanting to pay that much for what I make, but here we are. So I am going to go and drink my coffee tea and finish setting up my new sewing machine. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, let me know. Hit the like button. And I will see you in my next video, which I will have updates on some cosplay progress. Keep an eye on my Instagram. I'm posting some stories of my mystery cosplay, and I'd love to know your guesses. It's probably a little early right now. It's pretty generic, but I will see you in my next video. Bye!